Hello, I'm glad you joined me today as we're celebrating World Book and Copyright Day this month. Today, we're talking about another interesting book. It has something to do with not getting lost in the world. That's all I'm going to give you as a hint. Join me and meet this amazing author. Tell us her story and a bit about her book. See you in a bit. Welcome to the Quick Corner. So happy to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Why don't we start off by you telling us your name? I'm sure some people may already know, and the book you're here to promote.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Shalia Vinny. I am a best-selling author and speaker and podcast host, and I am here to promote my book, Little Girl, Don't Get Lost in This World. So this book I wrote when I was a teen. I started writing it because I had my daughter when I was a teenager. I was 16. And, I was on the fast track to, going to Harvard, and I had all these plans, and then I ended up pregnant. And so I thought about it. If someone like me who had everything together could end up pregnant, what about all the other girls who didn't even have the same opportunities? So I started writing it for my daughter. And then I realized it was really needed for everyone else's daughters as well. And so it kind of snowballed into this whole book that I put together to discuss everything that the girls are going to go through, whether that's bullying, teen pregnancy, sex, love, setting goals. I talk about prayer, not getting too big to pray. And, everything is just presented to them truthfully and honestly. It's never vulgar or anything like that. It's just, the honest facts. And this is how it can happen to you. And this is how we can prevail and make it when bad things happen as well. So.
Wow. I'd like to just pause and take that in. And on behalf of all the girls, ladies, and women out there, thank you for telling your story.
Thank you.
There's so much power when somebody steps up courageously to say, been there, done that, this is what you should do or what you shouldn't do. So thank you. I celebrate you. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I really, really celebrate you. Wow. Yeah, I need a moment to take that in.
Thank you so much. It's been such a blessing, because people counted me out and said, I wouldn't amount to anything because bye-bye went Harvard. And, everyone said, how are you going to recover from this? And so this is almost like my little redemption book. And it's so special to me because it was my first #1, and just the significance of that, because the thing that everyone said would be my greatest downfall turned into be my greatest blessing at the end of the day. And so it's always going to be my favorite that I've written because of that.
Yes. I mean, I can totally imagine that. I haven't been through any of the things, or maybe most of the things you've been through, but the thing is the uniqueness of your journey and, based on what you're saying, how it has turned into a blessing. So really, it's back to, that saying that God uses our mess and makes it a message.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So why don't you just read a bit of your book to us, please?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I think one of the best chapters to read, probably because everyone can relate, is self-love. So I'll just read a little snippet of the self-love chapter. It's self-love and your perception. And it starts out saying, the world is full of insecure girls trying to one-up each other because the truth is they're all hopelessly insecure and too terrified to be honest about it. No matter what happens along the way, you must never stop loving yourself. Self-love is downright the most important attribute you can have. People are always going to find something they don't like about you. But what do you think? You'll always be too tall, too short, too skinny, too chubby. Your hair will be too short or too long. Your skin is too light, not light enough, too dark. You need a tan. Your breasts are going to be too small. Your behind won't be big enough. You're never going to be pretty enough to some people. People will tell you you're too quiet, or others will say you're too loud, too smart, too dumb. You're never going to be good enough for everybody. Such is life. All that matters is that you're more than adequate to yourself.
Aww.
And so that chapter goes on, to kind of discuss, why do we feel that we're not good enough? And, I talk about that from myself, my own point of view. I've had days where you just get beautiful and you feel good about yourself.
Yes.
And I'm having a good day. And then you go outside and you run into Miss America. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I'm so ugly.
Yes.
It's like, why do we do that?
Yeah.
And so I just really wanted to hone in on that specifically for young women, because we compare so much.
I know. And I always say to people, and that's something I have in my books, where I say to people that comparison is the thief of contentment.
Oh, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
It's a trap that has always existed, and we continue to fall into it.
Yeah, especially with social media. I mean, social media is like the enemy of joy. All you have to do is just scroll for a second and you're just, I'm not pretty, my body, oh my gosh, I hate myself. Yes. And that is one of the main reasons why I wanted to talk to girls about that, because it's comparison. Yes. You don't dislike yourself, you just feel like she's better than you for some reason.
Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. This is such a powerful, powerful message. And like you said, with social media everywhere, we have to keep, it's almost like if social media is bombarding us with this, we might as well also bombard ourselves with positive messages. Yes. We
Absolutely.
just have to. We just have to.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only way you can counter it.
Yeah. Faith comes by hearing. So what are we hearing? If we're just hearing negativity and bad things and, self-hate, that's what we're going to start to believe. So if we can start to kind of counter that with something positive, we can start to believe that too.
That is so
taught.
True.
Self-love is a journey, and it's a lesson, and it's a day-by-day process. And every day you have to remind yourself.
So your book is for young girls. And sometimes it doesn't get through to the girl. Sometimes it takes a mother, an aunt, a grandma to get through to that girl. What message do you have for these motherly figures in young girls' lives?
I'm so glad that you brought that up, because that is so true. I actually have a ton of fathers and grandmothers and mothers who have bought 2 of the books. And what they're doing is, and we used to have this monthly meeting we would do on Facebook that we just haven't done in a while, where they would read together and then they would talk about what they were reading. Because, even with my own children, I have my daughter that I had at that time is now 17, and we have a 14-year-old son as well. And so, they're going to school and they're out in the world and social media, and I just want parents to really understand, no matter how good we raise them or what we give them, we are not their only influence. And so it's so important for us to be open and honest and have these discussions, because like when we were growing up, it was like, don't have sex, you keep your legs closed, blah, blah, blah. That's really not really going to help, because they have questions and they're talking about it with their friends. So I feel like as parents, we need to get out in front of it, and we need to have these conversations with our girls. And like I said, this book is like such a great way to start those conversations, because it's nothing vulgar. It's just honesty and, truth. And a lot of the moms have found that it's helpful when they actually talk to their daughters as well about their own experiences. And we read this together, and we can just kind of, bounce these ideas off of each other and have open discussions and dialogue. Wow. And so I think that for moms and for dads too, it's so helpful, because there's chapters in there for, motherless daughters or fatherless daughters. Yes. And there's so many conversations we can have to just reach our girls. Wow. It's so important.
Yes, it is. It is without a doubt. And,
Mhm.
you know, I'm still taking it in. I'm still taking it in. And it's interesting you say this, because one of the videos, you know, my weekly videos on my channel in February, I was talking about family values and the importance of sharing things like sex education. An example you just brought up,
Yeah.
talked about things like sex education with our children, because it's better that we have those uncomfortable conversations
Yes.
proactively than get
Yes.
uncomfortable if, you know, the child gets pregnant or the son impregnates
Yeah.
a girl out of wedlock, you know, whatever. So I mean, you're spot
Mhm.
on. Thank you so much for this gift to our world.
Thank you. The pleasure is all mine. It's been amazing.
Yeah, I can imagine. So before we close this out, you know, I'd like you to just share with us where we can get copies of your book. And please share with us, is, you know, some people may say, what? I want an autographed copy. So why don't you tell us where we can get regular copies and the special autographed ones, if you offer those?
Absolutely. Yes, I do. So my books are available wherever books are sold. You just search Shalia Vinny. I don't know if you can see my name
Yes,
here,
yes,
but
nice.
it's available wherever books are sold. Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Walmart, Apple Books, Kobo, wherever you buy your books. Libraries even have them. So you
Okay.
can get those there. If you want an autographed copy or just to find out any more about what I'm doing, you can always go to shaliavinny.com, which is my
Yes.
website. I do have all of my books available on my website as well. And when you order from me, they actually come specially gift wrapped, and I do sign every book, and they come with little bookmarks and little pieces of me that I put in each box for you.
Aw, that's so sweet of you. Well, thank you. And I'm
Thank
just
you so much for having
curious.
me.
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes. I'm so glad that you could make it, for sure. I'm so glad. I appreciate your honoring the Quip Corner with your presence.
Thank you.
So say we wanted to invite you to speak at an event. I know we're talking about a book promotion, but you have to forgive me for extending. What would that look like?
Again, you can reach out to me on social media. I also have all of that information on my website, shaliavinny.com, where you can get quotes, or you can, you know, inquire about speaking. And I would love to come and speak to your girls or your women, or I have a whole range of different topics that I speak on. I've written books about multiple topics. I'm also a nurse, so I can speak to different groups about broad information. And I would
Nice.
love to be a part of your event.
Well, thank you. Shelia, thank you again for joining me in the Quip Corner. I look forward to future collaborations and much success. Wishing you very, very great success.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I'm just so happy to be a part of your corner. And I
Thank
just
you.
feel so much fullness and wholeness just being a part of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wishing you miracles and blessings.
Amen. Amen to that.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Was that something or what? It was truly a privilege to have Shalia with me in the Quip Corner, a best-selling author. And needless to say, listening to her talk about that book, wouldn't you call it a bestseller yourself? Well, as she shared, her books can be got wherever books are sold. And if you want an autographed copy, and of course, some of the special gifts she mentioned, order it from her website. All the other information concerning how you can contact her, say for a speaking engagement, you'll find below this video and on her website as well. Tomorrow, we'll be talking about another amazing book. See you then. Bye now.